And we are joined by Jon and Mr Motivator live at the Elevate podcast booth. Welcome both.
Hi, Vanessa.
We're going to start with you, Jon, and we are absolutely glad to have you and Innerva as the exhibitor. Some really exciting developments, I believe, are happening. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about the end of 2025 launch you had on Innerva Connect?
Yeah, sure. No worries. It's been a massive couple of years for us at Innerva. So as you mentioned, Innerva Connect, one of the things we did last year back in 2025 was we introduced a new console on our equipment, but actually then we introduced this whole digital ecosystem. We're only a small company, but actually one of the things we got was some really good funding from Innovate UK. They funded us to develop our product. We're a UK-based business. And rather than being left behind, the UK government invested in us. And what it enabled us to do was create this system that tracks the data and usage of older customers and the customers use our equipment. So for us, it was a massive step, and it brings us into the 21st century out of the 19th.
Oh, fantastic. And so what do you do with that data?
So there's a platform in which we do the analysis. We utilize the AWS system, the Amazon Web Services system, QuickSight tools, and enables us to look and gives operators the ability to look at what their customers are doing, how many times they're exercising, what the benefits are, and a load of health data.
So for everyone listening, what do they need to do and how does it benefit them?
But what do you mean in terms of the
coming to you,
come and see us. In essence, because our product really is aimed at active aging, it's not something that necessarily all customers want. And not all older people want to be able to track that information, but it is really, really useful to operators to be able to understand and see it. So you can either have it switched on or switched off. If you are interested, it comes to standard now on all of our equipment. You can then pay an upgrade and effectively then have the whole Innerva Connect ecosystem. But it's been a really, really big part of last year. And it's actually cascaded on to this year in terms of some of the stuff that we're now doing on our new frames and sort of launch active and healthy aging.
Okay. So now at Elevate 2026, the launch of the next generation of power-assisted exercise equipment.
That's correct.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
So you can put it into words for us.
Yeah. PAE, power-assisted exercise equipment. If you think of how an electric bike works, you can jump on an electric bike, and if you aren't able or don't want to put a lot of it into it, you can do that, and it just powers you along. You can then add power, and that's exactly the same in terms of how you use our equipment. One of the things that we've done, again, funding from the UK government to help us with our development, is we introduced a new, more accessible range. So it's following feedback that we took from our customers. It's slightly lower, it's fit, to better improve design. It's got the Innerva Connect system. So we're really quite excited about that. Of course, we've utilised the marvellous Derrick Evans, better known as Mr Motivator, in terms of helping us launch that.
Okay, fantastic. Do you want to chat a little bit about the growth of demand worldwide? So it's not in the UK, I believe?
Oh, definitely. So we export about 75% of our equipment. We work with a partner in Europe called Feelgood. Feelgood have about 150 sites in Norway. There's about another 100 sites in Austria, Germany, Switzerland, and they buy our equipment. We've then also got distributors in Holland, Benelux, in Ireland, France. And actually, from a legacy perspective, we've also shipped around the world. So there's a massive interest. If you look at the global population, it's aging. It's also becoming less healthy. Some of the reports that have come out recently, we're leading longer message of physical activity is good for you and really, really powerful in terms of affecting that health.
That's actually a great intro to my next question, which is basically the pathway solution to exercise.
Okay.
How do we get people to exercise?
Yeah.
What do you want the public to do?
Yeah, it's a real challenge, actually. I think as a sector, we've often been interested in just servicing the younger people, whereas that's easy to do, but it isn't necessarily the same solution for older people. You need to adapt and you need change. And so those pathways are really, really important. And what we are seeing is that the sector is embracing that. More and more people are starting to come up with a different solution. It needs to be fun. That's why we partnered with Derrick, because Derrick's a fun guy. He's really, really makes physical activity interesting, exciting and enjoyable. And we've got to do that. It isn't just about lifting heavy weights, or that's important, of course, but that's not what everybody wants. But everybody enjoys having fun, though.
Well, exactly. And I'll be very happy to have Mr Motivator, Derrick. Yeah. And thank you to Innerva. Thank you for bringing him to Elevate 2026. And on that note, I am going to...
Thank you.
So share the mic.
Share the mic.
Sharing a mic.
Share our dentures as well, by the way.
I give you that.
I'm sharing your benches as well. Fantastic. Okay. And you are now over to you, Derrick.
You know what? It's so important that we do. It's not only important working as a well-being. And I maintain you only get old when you stop being young. So I surround myself with young people to keep me young and keep me happy, all right? And that's important.
So you got the nation moving many moons ago.
Yes.
How long did you get the nation moving? Did you kept them moving?
I started on television in 93, but my life in terms of the fitness journey started a decade before that.
Wow.
In fact, I started before some of these were born. But the message of well-being doesn't have to really change. In fact, it's even more important now than it was then, because then we had a society where people were walking to the factories, they were riding bikes, right? Their natural lifestyle was not actually sitting in front of a box. It was going out and playing until all hours of the night. And so the message of well-being now is even more important, because we've got to turn it on its head and say to everybody, you need to take control of your life. And you've got a choice, right? You can use the resistance machines of Innerva, but you can also join in the online classes. You can join in the amount of people out there who are doing personal training, doing classes on their own. And that's the message you've got to give.
To get started, then
Sure.
by getting with Mr Motivator and Innerva.
Oh, absolutely right. Because you know what? I believe in the fun of exercise. Look, years ago, I started saying movement is medicine, but actually laughter and movement is medicine.
Yeah.
And I think if you have that together, it gives you every reason to do it. And it's not about doing necessarily what we do. The mere fact you started moving, taking those steps is what's important. Now, en route, you need help.
Yeah.
And that's where people like Innerva comes in, because guess what? If you have not been able to get moving, if you've had, maybe you've had a stroke, maybe you're of a certain age, maybe you're actually feeling lonely and you can't really be bothered, getting together in an Innerva setting, which is often leisure centers and places like that, is a great way to meet people, number one, but number two, to actually at your own pace, have the help of a machine where you can actually work your body and get yourself moving. But of course, don't forget to check us out, because we're hot, aren't we?
How did the partnership with you and Innerva come about, and why is it important?
You know what it is? I read that they had loads of money. So I called them up and I said, you've got loads of money. No, that's not how that. A very creative marketing lady called Laura got in touch and said, can we have a chat? And that's how it began. And I went along to see the machines and see how they work. And I realized that I knew the fitness market, but I didn't know much about Innerva. And I didn't know much about these resistance machines. And when I tried it for myself, I thought, what a great way of getting people moving, right? And of course, if you can get them to change the colors so they're brighter,
Yeah.
then it will reflect me.
The
So
most important question I had today is,
Yeah.
what is Derrick wearing today?
wait for the unitard to come on.
Oh, yes.
Like, next month is 1 year we've been together. Apparently they're going to dump me because I've become, and the second year I've become very expensive. Right? But you know how it is. Like, it'd be his loss. We're having a great journey together. And I think it's important that we keep spreading that message on here. At this exhibition, right, it's just been great. The audience has been coming over. It's been nonstop. And I think we're getting the message out there that, listen, Innerva is in town. Give them a tip.
We love Innerva. So everyone, make sure you get over to the Innerva stand.
Absolutely.
So how has your perspective changed over the years?
You know what? It hasn't really. In terms of personal perspective, it's changed, because what happens as you get older, you need to look at what you used to do and say, well, does that work as you get older? Now, in my 30s, 40s, and probably early 50s, there was a lot of very high impact aerobics, but there are lots of people out there who have suffered because of high impact aerobics. So what do you do as you get older? Weight training is really important. Resistance training is very important, more so than ever, because you want to be able to stand up tall and not look 3 feet in front of you, but look 20 feet in front. And that only comes from resistance work and also weight training. So that's how my perspective changed, is that we all need to adopt change as each decade comes along and recognize what really works for us.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is the enjoyment factor must come to the top, right? And that is a perspective that I've never changed. If it's enjoyable, you keep doing it, right? If the food is good, you keep want to go back for more, don't you? And by the way, he paid for food last night. And in paying for food, he's not recovered. He needed this morning resuscitation. You can go now. You can go. We're done with it. I love you. See you soon. I'm having the time of my life, because I maintain you only get old when you stop being young. And every single person needs to adopt that younger lifestyle, and don't stop doing those things that you did a decade ago. Do them, because muscles have memory. And if you stop doing those things you used to do, the muscle memory just disappears. So when look, come on, as far as I'm concerned, the perception when you look at an older person should be, I want to be like them. I want to aspire to be like them. I want to be upright like them. I want to have the fun they're having.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm about. It's about trying to motivate, inspire, uplift, and make sure everybody understands it's never too late.
So I have a very important question for you. And I'm not
Am I available?
It's very, I know that Innerva's got first steps class, a matter very close to you,
Yes.
and we'd like to get the message out there. Please tell us about your paid bank charity initiative.
I'm glad you asked. About 2 years ago, I did a series on BBC. We looked at dead poverty.
Yeah.
Now, most people, when they mention dead poverty, haven't got a clue what it is.
Yeah.
Because poverty is what they hear.
Yeah.
But when poverty exists at the time, 400,000 children in this country go to sleep without a bed. As at 18 months ago, the figure was over 1 million kids tonight in the UK go to sleep without a bed.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And it's on our doorstep.
How can we allow this to happen?
It's allowed to happen because, number one, a lot of people don't want to mention that their kids are sleeping, is how their kids are sleeping. So don't discuss it. Whereas, in fact, the real truth of the matter is children are struggling. Think how you feel when you've not had a good night's sleep. You feel groggy, you don't feel good. In a young child, their growth is stunted, their development is stunted. So my aim at the moment is to create the awareness of bed poverty, get donations in, and from those donations, we then marry with local charities to ensure that children who need a bed get a bed. But that's the first part. The second part is we've got a petition online now where everybody, I'd love them to go on and sign because I want the government to go, look, let's take bed poverty out of poverty and let's deal with it as a separate subject on its own. Because honestly, right now with the economy being how it is, I bet you there's more than 1.5 million children who go to sleep without a bed.
And we don't know.
And
we're not doing anything about it.
Right. So, Mr. Motivator, all you have to do is put in bedbank.org.uk and you'll find out what it's all about. I'll take a screenshot of that. You know exactly what it's about. Donate. Honestly, do the petition for us and help you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And for everyone wanting to know, you are going to be live on stage shortly.
Surely, yes.
So I think
know
you
what
have to
time.
go get ready.
I'm out of time.
Oh, you still got plans.
Yeah, I had that time.
And
Yeah.
you're going to get the nation moving. Yeah.
Oh, I never stop. I'm going to sit down to my unitard and everybody's going to go, he's hot.
Fantastic. We can't wait to see you on stage.
Thank you.
Thank you both for joining us for this. And I'll be there moving with you.
Great. Super. Thank you so much.